random.
Why is there just a random dog here? No idea why that dog's there, but what's up everybody, welcome back. Today we got a new video for you guys. If you haven't guessed it by the title of the video, today I'm going to be talking to you guys about 10 things I love about my Audi S6. This is my 2014 C7 Audi S6. I've made videos before about things I hate about it. I think it was 5 things I hate about the S6. Today I'm doing 10 things I love about it. We'll go ahead and show you guys an overview of everything I love, why I love it, and then show you guys the features that I'm talking about as well. So let's go ahead and get out here. Actually, before we do that, I think I'm gonna have to clean up the garage a bit because I am gonna need to be parking her away for a couple of days. In about 3 seconds, you'll probably see a time lapse or something, but let's go ahead and go. So for the most part, the garage is all cleaned up. Bikes are gonna have to stay for a bit until we're ready to park the car in here. Trash is gonna be taken out until Tuesday, but other than that, I did a pretty alright job at organizing. I gotta get everything organized. These are some old things from my car. These are all maintenance things that I've been needing for my car. That's just extra oil. I have a transmission pan gasket, and then the filter, magnets, brakes, rotors. There's the pads, and then some lines, and then all of this is just stuff to work on the cars. One thing I do need to do is I gotta put this up. I got this for my birthday like super long time ago from my sister. I never put it up, so I think maybe we can hang it on the wall right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Y'all make fun of me, this is the only hammer I have, but it gets the job done. Also, we got this sticker from Hawks Performance. I think I'm gonna start putting stickers on here, so we'll put this one right here. All right, doesn't look too bad right there. Obviously, we live our Beamers, but we gotta let everybody know that we're rocking with Audi. That's definitely gonna fall, but whatever. Last thing I'm gonna do is I have these 2 skateboards. They're just taking up so much space on the rack that, because I don't want to put a lot of stuff on them and scratch them up. So I think I'm gonna grab those and let's see if I can put them up there now. I don't want to put them here because if I get another rack, it'll have to go here. And then I don't know if I want to put them on this wall because I need to find space to put these bikes. Yeah, maybe we'll try putting that up there. So I tried putting it up there now. I thought it would look a little bit better, but this door has to be closed really hard, so it just keeps knocking on the board. So I think we're just gonna wrap them up, put them inside. All right, so now that we got the garage a little bit cleaned up, let's go ahead and get out of here. %. I think we're good to go. I hate hearing that little beep so much. It's like the BMW gong, but for Audi. So the spot we're going to is a little bit off the grid. There's a road that they have closed off, so usually they have the little block off barriers like open so people can go in there for some reason. That's probably for the workers, but that's gonna be my gateway into that area because that's usually where I record videos and that's usually where people don't bother me. So let's see if I can make it in there today. This is exactly what I was talking about. Access has been granted. Just hope no one else comes down here and gets confused. We're just gonna leave that open for me for later though. There's another dog on the road. Why are these dogs on the road? All right, so here we are at the spot. I'll go ahead and talk to you guys about the 10 things I love about this car. So the car's a bit dirty right now. It is my daily. We're doing some construction around my home, so whenever it rains, I just get a bunch of dirt all over my car. I mean, I guess that's kind of the beauty of it too. You have a nice car, sports car that you can drive around whenever you want. So let's go ahead and get into the 10 things I love about my S6. So the first thing I'm actually gonna have to say about the S6, I guess first we'll start with the exterior, but first things first is I just like the sleeper look of this vehicle. Really, nobody's gonna know what's under the hood of this vehicle unless you tell them or they look at the badge. So, I mean, some knowledgeable car enthusiasts might know an S6 has a V8. You can see the turbo badge here, or V8 turbo. But other than that, it's not too much different looking than a normal A6. You know, a lot of people are gonna see that as unassuming. I think this is probably the most sleeper looking V8 sedan. The M5, those are super hyped up. Everyone knows what BMWs are capable of. Even people that don't even like cars that get on the wave know what an M5 can do. E63s, those are just really beautiful cars in general, but they look so muscular and aggressive. Nothing against that. Obviously, a cool looking car is a cool looking car, but I just think this looks a little bit more sleeper than all of those. The second thing I'm going to mention as well is the brakes. So you can see we have some huge brakes for the S6, almost like, or actually bigger than my hand, and I have a pretty big hand. These brakes are just so awesome at stopping the vehicle. This is a 4,200 pound car. With me in it, it's probably like closer to 4,400 pounds. Never had an issue with them. They're super smooth. They're not super bitey like a Mustang that I used to have. You don't really feel how much the vehicle weighs with how good those brakes are stopping the vehicle. Despite them throwing just a whole bunch of brake dust, they are super awesome. So number three, I can't do these three fingers. 3 is going to be specific to my vehicle, but I'll just include it. It's going to be this diffuser and the carbon fiber spoiler. I'm gonna combine them into one because that's kind of cheating if I just add the stuff that I've done to the car, but it just makes the car look super aggressive. I think the spoiler really complements the body of the car. It kind of helps add, I would say, kind of like a whale tail almost design, and the diffuser just makes the back end not look like a normal car. It helps to keep it standing out. I know I was mentioning stuff about sleeper, but I don't know, obviously you want to have a sleeper and make it look cool as well, and that's why I think these diffuser and spoiler did perfectly. Here's a little side view of it on the vehicle. You can see it doesn't look too crazy, and then a dead-on back look from the spoiler just makes the car's butt like really pop out, I guess you could say. So the number 4 thing I love about this car, it's not really cosmetic. I would say it's kind of like in between just performance and then preference, but it's actually going to be the exhaust for this vehicle. When this car was stock, the exhaust was terrible, super quiet, you couldn't hear a thing, adding to the sleeper mentality of this vehicle. But stock sucked. Added downpipes, the exhaust was still super quiet, had just a little bit more rumble. I deleted the resonators, which is usually my go-to combo, so straight pipe all the way to mufflers, and these stock mufflers are so restrictive. I honestly think that was the main thing killing the sound on this car, which is why I ended up having to swap to some Valtronic ones. The car now just sounds beautiful. I have an X pipe in there. It helps clean up the exhaust and make it sound a little bit more exotic of a V8. If you wanted to get that more rumbly sound, you could do an H pipe, which I'm debating if I should do that in the future, but the exhaust on this car is just beautiful. X pipe, H pipe, whatever you do, true dual, it's gonna sound good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and open up the doors, show you some things on the inside. So we're actually on number 5 right now. I had to go back and think of everything, but number 5, we're moving on to the interior, and I had to open all the doors to show you, but it's gonna be my seats. So these are the leather quilted stitched S6 seats. So this S7 comes with similar seats with the sport package, and you don't just get them in the front, you get them all the way around. So even your back passengers, you get those nice seats. I think these seats just look super cool. They're sporty, they hold you good, and I mean, it's a lot better than the comfort seats that usually come in these cars. I know people prefer the comfort seats just for comfort, but honestly, you're getting a sporty sedan, you are expecting a harsher ride and more performance, I think you need to go with the sport seats. Number 6 is actually going to be all the carbon fiber trim that's in this car. So you can see you get it on the door panel, you get the same thing on the passenger side, you get it all over the dash, all the way up to the driver's side here, you get it in the center control panel, and I keep telling this, but they don't forget about the back passengers. Even the back passengers get carbon fiber on their door panels. It's just a super nice touch. You know, a lot of cars don't really do a whole lot of carbon fiber like that, and if they do, they don't really include it in the back seats either. I know Audis are really good about that. I know Beamers usually don't have them in the back seats, and let's be honest, most of the Mercedes out there are option with the wood trim anyways. It's just super cool that they put so much carbon fiber in this vehicle, and they really, you know, they do the small things to make this car stand out as a performance sedan rather than just like a normal commuter car. So my number 7 thing, I wasn't sure if this would really go in the interior, exterior, or like cosmetics, but it's going to be the air suspension. Now, if you've seen my 5 things I hate about this car, one of the things I said was the air suspension, but for a completely different reason. The air suspension is cool to have, but the downside to it is the maintenance to take care of it. A lot of these air struts and the airbags in the back are very leaky, and they're prone to go out, and it can be a kind of expensive fix if you go with OEM. Had to wipe the lens, sorry. In general, it's cool to have that air ride suspension. You know, you can get fitment pretty spot on. I've lowered my car with lowering links and the air suspension, and that's how I was able to get the fitment I'm at right now. All right, we're gonna move inside of the vehicle, so audio might get a little different, but it's about to start raining and I don't want it to rain on me. Regardless, the number 8 thing I love about this car is actually the gauge cluster. So let's see if I can show you from here. The thing I love about this gauge cluster, all right, car. The thing I like about this gauge cluster is I think that it's a perfect mix. Okay, bruh. I think this car is a perfect mix of like a digital dash, like in the center right here, and then actual like analog gauges on the left and right. Here we have our RPM gauge. Here we have the mile per hour. And then in the center, you just get all of the different functionalities. You can have like your maps come up, given that the maps don't, it's not really a map, it's just like a compass. But you can have this, which I coded in, and it shows you like a shift light. It gives you a boost gauge right here on the left. It shows you your mile per hour, and it even tells you your engine temperature right here, which is something that wasn't originally provided in the vehicle. I think that this gauge and even the BMW M gauges from like the 2013, like similar years, I think those are some of the best gauges I've seen. The AMG ones are pretty cool. I keep comparing all 3 of those because these are like the 3 competitors. But I mean, in general, analog gauges are probably, I mean, I know they're old fashioned, but everything is like digital now, and having analog gauges still, it's a nice touch. I know this is 2014, so they weren't making that whole transition yet, but these analog gauges are nothing to slouch about. They look really nice. I think this is a different gauge cluster than just the normal A6. Bonus points on that for, you know, like I said, them paying attention to detail. So the number 9 thing I love about the interior is going to be this Alcantara headliner. The headliner is just super cool to have. I mean, it's not a very common option from what I've seen. I do have one issue with it, which is that the back is actually kind of sagging. You probably can't see just because of the darkness in here, but the Alcantara headliner is really nice to have. You get these Alcantara, so the sun visors, you get it all the way up on the pillars and then all the way throughout the back. So it's just a very nice premium touch. I wish that the steering wheel would have had some Alcantara on it. I mean, aftermarket can fix that, but it's just a nice feel. Everyone who's had Alcantara knows that it's nice to, you know, handle. It's very grippy, and it's a nice material to touch. All right, so here we are at the number 10 thing I love about this vehicle. And if you don't expect what I'm gonna show you already anyways, it's the motor. So the reason I like this motor so much is because it's so simple to get a lot of power out of it. Now, with my setup right now, I'm probably in the 400s wheel somewhere, not anything crazy, but I'm just on some stock baby turbos. Once you get upgraded turbos on these that are the size of the RS7 or S8 or R6 or whatever car, or even larger, these motors are just ready to go to the moon. There's so many people pushing over like 700 wheel on these cars, and they're having no issues handling the power with stock engines. Literally all it takes is just turbos. This car's motor is very stout, can handle the power reliably, and you know, just like I said, just throw some turbos at it. The potential is so crazy from there. All right, and there you have it, guys. That's the 10 things I love about my Audi S6. A lot of these things are applicable to the S7 as well. Arguably, the S7 might be a little bit better looking just because it is hatchback and it has those wide hips in the back, which if I had an S7, that would have been one of the things I loved about it. But I mean, regardless of what car you have, all of these cars come built great from Audi. BMWs, Mercedes, all of these cars are awesome. But alrighty guys, it's starting to rain, so I'm gonna go ahead off the video here. Let me know what you guys want to see more of. Hopefully we can hit 500 subscribers, so if you're not subscribed, I would very greatly appreciate that. Without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. I can't forget. I gotta put this thing back. Oh shit, I broke it.